I believe in God, you know? There's just some things in this life you can't guarantee. I mean, life itself you can't even guarantee. And you gotta believe in something that's certain. You know, I knew this girl. She was a friend of mine. She was tall. She was a good actress. You know, she a good student. She was smart. She was good at sports. She was very funny. You know, she was beautiful. She was beautiful. And when she was only 18, she got hit by a speeding car on a night out. I mean, I was there that night, Saturday. I mean, you ask why? I mean, she had everything at her grasp. You know, she's just even the look in her eyes would seem to suggest that. I had a cousin, Adam. He was a little bit older than me. He wasn't the same blood as mine, but you know, he was still family. I mean, he lived with us at some point. He used to do modeling. I even remember every time he took off his shirt, he had a nipple piercing, right? And we used to play video games together. He would always beat me in my favorite PS2 game, SSX Tricky. You know, I can't even remember how old he was when he shot himself in the head. You know, time just makes you forget. I remember his face. I remember sharing a story at his funeral when they asked, because no one else would. And I mean, I remember, you know, and people say, how come things like this could happen for God exists? You know, wouldn't you want God to exist because things like that do happen? I don't fear God because I'd be scared of everything. I don't love God because, frankly, I don't know what that means. I mean, I can tell you when I found God, you know, when God found me. I was in The Hague. It was like any night, all alone. No, it was a Saturday. I was drifting along, escaping my thoughts, hoping to become someone else's problem. I was drinking. No, I was smoking. Well, to be fair, I was probably doing both. Wait, no. I was sitting on a bench. I was eating chocolate, and I saw this thing, you know, this big, round person, and I thought, well, why is this the mascot of The Hague, you know? Where does this inspiration come from? And there were more statues. There were these two skeletons. There were some heads, some balls. You know, I don't know what that was. And they just, you know, they kept coming. They just went on, and they went on, and they went on. So I thought, where does the inspiration come from? You know, what does it mean to be an artist? We can all create stuff in a sense. We can all make art. But I guess you got to make it to be an artist. So the difference is the inspiration, right? Like an oil rig, the fuller the field, the more inspiration you tap into, so the wealthier the art, I guess. And if we can find inspiration in all things, then when we find inspiration from someone else's art, don't we just tap into their inspiration? Their inspiration is tapped from someone else's. So if we climb this ladder of linked facets, won't we arrive at some singular source? I mean, and what's the bottom of that pool of power? You know, who's at the center of that oasis? You know, maybe the source of all inspiration is what God is. But I ran for miles. I exercised for days. I cooked for the first time. I cleaned my whole house. I meditated for hours on end. I called my mom that Sunday, and I told her that I went to church and I couldn't find God. I couldn't find the inspiration to study. You know, I couldn't. I tried everything, you know. Nothing seemed to help, you know. I'm supposed to carry the 4 over. I'm supposed to find the derivative. I mean, what the fuck's a matrix, man? And who is Gauss? I needed a fix. So I decided to jump.
My boy, what are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing?
You're about to hurt yourself.
Well, that's what I'm going for.
Well, why would you do something so foolish?
I want to get out of an exam.
An exam? What are you so afraid of?
That? I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid of failing.
Failing? You seem uninspired.
Yes! I'm completely uninspired. I can't find anything that will inspire me.
Well, why don't you try and find someone, not something?
She said it. Mandeville the gardener said what I needed to hear. Find inspiration in other people. Philippians chapter 2 verse 4. Instead of each person watching out for their own good, watch out for what is better for others. You know, there it was. If I watched other people while they were writing their exam, it would inspire me to write my own. So, I know as the examination board you really don't want to hear this, but I did look at her paper. I did.
So what do you think?
You definitely cheated.
Yeah.
But I guess what happens in Rotterdam
Stays in Rotterdam.